To another press conference. Steve Bellone is addressing the media there. Let's check in and see what the executive has to say.
Chief, can you guys come in a little closer? You guys can come in a little closer. Just let me know when you guys are all set. Good to go? All right. Very good. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us here at our Department of Public Works headquarters in Comac. I'm joined by a number of our emergency management officials. First and foremost, our Acting Police Commissioner, John Barry, our Chief of Department, Stu Cameron. Also joined by our Department of Public Works team, our Commissioner Gil Anderson, Deputy Commissioner Tom Vaughn, and of course our Suffolk County Fire Rescue and Emergency Management Leadership Commissioner Joe Williams, Deputy Commissioner John Jordan. We are also grateful to have with us and appreciate the partnership and the support from New York State, the Assistant Commissioner of New York State OEM, Ira Greenberg, and Pat Beckley, the Long Island Regional Director for New York State OEM. And yesterday, I was up in Albany for the Governor's State of the State address. I want to thank the Governor for his support. I was up with Nassau County Executive Laura Curran, and the Governor was able to assemble his emergency management team and top officials with the state to discuss storm preparations. And we did that and then headed back to Long Island from Albany. But the storm only got worse as it came closer to us, and we are now in the height of it right now. This is a difficult, challenging, dangerous storm. Every storm is different, but there are a mix of factors here, particularly out in Suffolk County, that make this a very challenging, dangerous storm. You have high accumulation. We're looking at up to 15 inches in some places in Suffolk County, combined with a rapid rate of snowfall, and we are seeing that right now. The snow is coming down hard and quickly, and has been for a good time now, and high winds. You combine all three of those together and you create dangerous whiteout conditions. I have been out and about since early this morning, checking out on the roadways, working with our teams out there, and I can tell you that the conditions have significantly worsened over the last few hours. We have had and I observed this when I was first out on the roadways early this morning, a higher number of vehicles than I would normally expect to see in a storm like this. Of course, the number of vehicles were significantly reduced from a normal day, but there was still a lot of vehicles out on the roadway, and we've had reports now of vehicles being stranded, motorists stranded on the side of roadways as that snow has come down quickly. And our message very clearly to motorists, to residents in Suffolk County is stay off the roads. These are dangerous conditions out there now. It is difficult for plow operators to be able to operate in conditions like these. It is certainly dangerous for residents to be out there driving in these kinds of conditions. And I would ask that people really not only think about their own safety, which is, of course, incredible importance, but think about the safety of others as well. When you go out on the road in these kind of conditions, you create hazards for fellow drivers, and you make it more difficult and create hazards for our first responders and for the plow operators who do such a great job. And I want to thank them for the work that they're doing. We are reminded once again of the difficult, challenging work that they do in emergency situations like this. These plow operators have been out there since the early morning hours, and they are out there in these conditions. They will be out there throughout the day today, and no doubt throughout the night tonight, working to clear the roadways. So I want to thank them for the work they do, and of course to our first responders who have to come out when an emergency rises in a storm like this. Very difficult conditions, very dangerous conditions. And again, it's why we urge people to stay off the roadways now as the storm continues to worsen. We have had the Emergency Operations Center open since the early morning hours as of midnight. As of 7 a.m., I declared a state of emergency in the county. And we have obviously closed a number of our operations. Traffic Violations Bureau is closed. Bus service was canceled yesterday. We'll be providing updates moving forward on what service may look like tomorrow. Our Department of Social Service centers are closed, and what I would urge people to do, if you know anyone who is out on the streets, homeless, without heat, call our Department of Social Services emergency hotline number. That is 631-854-9100, 631-854-9100 after 4:30 p.m. Currently, you can still call the main number at 631-853-8820, 631-853-8820. This is a moment when you have an event like this, when you have a blizzard, these kind of conditions, and the extreme temperatures that we have seen. This is the time when we have to come together as a community to look out for the people, our friends, our neighbors who are most at risk, who are most vulnerable. So we ask residents in these difficult conditions, if you know of neighbors or friends, particularly the elderly who are vulnerable, those who may be living on their own, to check in on them, call them, knock on the door if you can, to make sure that they are okay. And if there is an emergency, obviously call 911, but just check on those friends and neighbors and senior citizens particularly who may be vulnerable. We have reported, and I'll let our Commissioner John Barry talk about that a little bit, but in terms of number of accidents, I think we're at normal volumes, although we have seen reports of motorists being stranded. And as far as outages, a little over 1,000 outages at this point. That is always a big concern in a storm like this, power outages, and with conditions like this. PSE&G has done a significant amount of work on storm preparation over the last couple of years. I think we have seen that pay off, that work, and I know they are at it right now, but we're monitoring that very closely, of course. And this storm is not going to be over today. Ultimately, the storm will pass, but because of the extreme weather, extreme cold that we have been experiencing for a long time now, actually, we've had a long stretch of this really cold weather. Over the next couple of days, we're going to urge motorists continue to be cautious as this snow and ice freezes over through the night and makes it impossible really to get down to that asphalt. You're going to continue to see icy and treacherous conditions out there on the roadways. So we continue, even though the storm may pass, plow operators are still going to be working out there, but because of those freezing conditions, very difficult to get down to asphalt because that ice and snow freezes over very, very quickly. But we will continue to be out there working with our local partners. I want to thank all of our town supervisors, our villages, partners. We're working closely, remain in contact with them through our Emergency Operations Center, and of course we're coordinating closely with New York State OEM and Governor Cuomo and his team. With that, I'm going to ask John Barry to just give us a few words, Commissioner Barry, give us a few words on the roadways and the importance of staying off of them. Commissioner.
Thank you, Steve. Good morning. Suffolk County Police Department urges all of our residents to stay off the roads. The roads are treacherous out there. The snow, blowing snow, the high winds are making it even more difficult with visibility. So we just ask all our residents to stay off the roads and let our plow operators get those roads cleared up to make it safer for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Steve, declaring the state of emergency, what does that do? Does that open us up for
Yeah, the governor has been, as you know, very active, very proactive on these storms, these extreme weather events that we've had, and we appreciate the support that we've gotten from the state. And as we talked yesterday with the governor's team, they indicated that they were providing that additional support yesterday, bringing additional resources down to Long Island for this storm. The state of emergency, which we declared as of 7 a.m., basically gives us the authority to suspend certain rules and laws for public safety's sake. So, for instance, if we need to tow vehicles that are parked legally, we can just move forward and do that, things of that nature. And of course, it does give us the ability to apply for any aid that may become available as a result of the storm. The high wind.
All right, you've been listening to Suffolk County Executive Steve Bellone there. Suffolk County under a state of emergency right now. One thing the county executive did mention earlier, he thought there were a little too many cars out on the roads given the circumstances and the conditions on the roads right now. And they implore everyone, if you can, stay off the roads. A lot of work to be done.
Yeah, Suffolk County taking a pounding at this hour. Let's get the very latest.